This is a Headgum podcast.
Hey bitch, what is your whole deal? Hey bitch, just tell us how you feel. You wished for a sign from above. Well, here's a podcast about boy sex, fucking, dating, and love. Seek treatment if you're boring as fuck. Seek treatment if you're unlucky in love. Seek treatment if you just can't take a hint. Well, seek treatment with Kat
and Pat.
Hey, it's Mrs. Cappuccinista.
And it is Mr. Patrick
Oh.
Owen Cappuccino Regan Cohen.
And we're married. And this is a little thing I like to call Seeky Treaty Menti.
A podcast
about boys, sex,
fucking,
fucking,
dating, and love.
Raw with condom
Yeah.
and love.
I have to say this. You
Huh.
know I hate to come for a company. You know I hate to
Go
come for a
ahead.
company.
Go ahead.
I have to say, you know how excited I was to be a Jeep policer.
Of course.
You know that was like something that was huge for me.
You texted me, we're getting leased.
Never meet your heroes or lease them. Never lease your heroes, because it broke for no reason. Because I went out of town for 2 weeks, a totally normal amount of time. Literally, the way they've left me up a stream without a paddle.
Yes. Yeah.
Finally, I, of my own hard work, got it towed to them. Which they were like, oh, bring it in whenever there's anything, like it's totally free, whatever. It's like, that's when you're leasing it, when you're in their good books.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had it towed there last Tuesday. Have heard nothing. I've called them on Wednesday. Maybe you'll hear from us on Friday. You might not, they said to me.
You might not.
I said, okay, thank you so much for this communication.
What kind of car is yours called?
Oh, a Compass.
Jeep Compass.
I'm getting a kind of guy like Jim has next.
Isn't pointing you in the right direction anymore.
I know.
Huge laugh,
So
huge laugh,
then
huge laugh.
wait until this explosive argument.
Tell.
So then Friday comes and goes, nothing happens. It's Monday now. I've now been without a car for a week, and they don't care
Up a
at
stream
all.
without a Jeep Compass.
I call them, and they're like, oh, hey. I was like, hey, like, I just haven't heard in a while. Y'all still do have my car?
Hey.
And I was like, let me see. You know what? It's ready for pickup. I was like, oh, okay, great. And I'm like, today is like, I have my creative work to focus on. I'm like,
Where is the Jeep dealership?
It's in downtown. So like,
Not far.
and so I was like, okay, well, I maybe will have to come tomorrow. And they were like, well, then you would of course have to pay $160. And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, well, yeah, it's ready. And I was like, but you're telling me right now that it's ready, and I have pretending I'm like an attorney that works 90 hours a week. I was like, well, I have a job, of course. Like, I don't know if I could come today. And they were like,
I'm sorry, how rude is
and
my
they were
phone
like,
going off?
and they were like, well, we're telling you now it's 10 a.m. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't call me. I called you. And then I'm now being Karen. I'm being now Karen that I met who reports Pinterest. And I was like, well, I called you. And they were like, and also it wasn't really true that I can't. I just like want to focus on my work today. So
On
I
your
was
creative
like,
work.
and so I was like, they were like, we could come tomorrow, but you would have to get here before it opens at 7. And that's when I go to the gym. So I was like, well, I have to talk to my boss, this imaginary boss.
You call Tavi. Well, I have amazing news that's going to clear everything up. My cousin says, invite Pat, he's the best.
And your cousin wants to set me up with someone, and perhaps tonight we'll find out who.
This could be exciting. And I think it's time to bring in our guest.
Yes.
Absolute family of the pod. Put your ears open for Corey Fogelmanis.
Hi.
How are you, darling?
I'm so excited to be here.
You're
my
coming in hot
God.
with a wristband from a major event.
Yeah, I forgot to cut it off. I did
Keep
it.
it
It's
on.
not because
I
I wanted you
always-
to ask me about it.
No, I always
I'm
forget to
asking
cut off
you.
wristbands.
Tell us where you were and tell us where you've been.
I was at the Short and Sweet tour, LA.
The
last
short
night.
and
And
sweet
sweet tour.
And you're a dear friend of Sabrina.
I am.
And she told me she likes to be called that, Sabrina.
Yeah, Sabrina. Yeah, sometimes I call her Sabs.
Because y'all grew up on the show.
Yeah, we did. We did a show together.
Wait,
when
what
we were
show?
Babies. It was called Girl Meets World.
Oh, of course.
Ever
Well, you
heard of
know I'm
it?
36 plus, and so for me,
You
Boy
missed
Meets
out.
World
Boy
was
Meets World.
family, especially
Boy.
the cliffhanger episode.
We didn't know the girl met him, too.
Yeah. And,
Him being the world.
And if you were in 3rd grade when the cliffhanger took place on TGIF, that Topanga was moving away, and then she came back and ran away from her family and showed up at Corey's house with wet hair.
Can you imagine?
Wet
And then that was the end of the episode, and you did not know what was going to happen next.
Wet hair is a tool.
Yeah.
Wet hair is a tool that needs to be used very, very delicately. Now let me ask, when you were preparing for the role, did you say, I better go back and watch The Boy Meet the World?
I did. Yeah,
You watched it all?
I did. I
You
actually.
binged it.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen all of it,
Well, you got the
which is
tone.
crazy. But
Well, it's very different, the start of it and the end of it. It's
yeah,
basically as different as anything could be from something.
you think?
The start of Boy Meets World to the end of Boy Meets
I
World.
watched the end.
the end couldn't be more different than the start.
Okay, well, I'm going to take your word for
Can
it.
you tell us what happens? Remind
Well,
me.
in the beginning, especially in the first season, they're middle school. There's a character called Minkus. There's
right.
Topanga is like completely like flaky weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
By the end, they're in college.
It's grounded.
There's a new
So
Lawrence
how many
brother
years
who's
was
in
that
it.
on?
It was 7 years.
My entire life.
Yeah, that
It
feels,
was your
I was like,
entire life.
7 feels short. I was like, it must have been on our entire life.
Yeah.
And you know the best thing that ever happened to me as a child when I was in now 4th grade? When they did a Scream episode of Boy Meets World.
They did a Scream episode.
Jennifer
of Boy
Love
Meets
Hewitt
World?
guest starred. Okay.
Huge.
Okay. What do you think?
So, only because you brought it up, but we kind of like, Minkus ended up being my dad in...
No.
Minkus ended up
Girl
being my
Meets
dad. Well, he only was in, and then they brought him
Minkus
back.
suffered from being my dad.
Well, kind of.
Angela came in.
crazy.
These
It was
were all new
crazy.
characters. It was crazy how it. And I remember thinking as a child, like, wow, this show is really morphing and evolving with the viewer.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that. I'm like, I
You
remember
grew up
thinking,
with that show.
I'm getting older, and so is the show, and so too is the show.
Now, who else? Did you get to meet other cast members from the OG?
Oh my gosh, like everyone came back.
Every day?
Yeah, so Danielle, who played Topanga, she was, she
Yes.
was on the show
What's
with
she
us.
up to now?
She
She's
directed
in the,
a bunch of our episodes.
And she's
She's
in the news right now
kids.
because she's being very proactive about. She had a breast cancer
Oh, wow.
incident that that she's okay, but she's like very like on talk shows being like, check your breasts.
Check your
Yeah.
breasts.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
But I saw her last night. She was
Oh my
there.
no
gosh.
way.
She's good.
So it was a reunion last
It was
night.
a little bit of a reunion.
That is so fun. Were
I
you
would
so
have.
proud?
I would have loved to be included.
Yeah,
Well,
you didn't call and
we
you didn't
had-
write.
We hadn't met yet. I didn't want to like
We met over FaceTime, sweetheart.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that doesn't count.
I'm joking.
in person. Yeah.
I was like, can I? This whole week for me being in Los Angeles has been like seeing people, and it's like we zoomed, and I'm like, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
If I don't shake it, if I don't hug it.
Yeah. Or Zoom.
What
Are
do
you
you mean?
zooming socially?
No, it was like like execs
Seeing
together having
execs,
meetings.
yes,
Yeah. And they're like,
yes.
we met. I'm like, we didn't meet. And of course, I zoom with potential friends. And I say, could we circle back?
And what are you watching on TV right now that you love?
Yeah.
I have generals with friends where I say, and what do you love on TV right now?
And where'd you grow up? And what kind of stuff do you want to work on?
Yeah.
Amazing. And we have this thing. You'll definitely be in it.
Oh my God, that would be a funny tweet
You know,
that no
I'm
one would
suffering
get.
from my voice being tired.
And why would that be?
Well, I thank you for asking. I had a major album release party. We haven't talked about it enough.
Mhm.
The album's out. It's been dropped. The album has been dropped. Stream Overdressed on Spotify. But back to business. What'd
Yeah.
you wear to the tour?
I wore actually what I wore to the airport. So I mean, it was kind of a mess. I wore
That's
some like steel toe
powerful.
boots,
Cute.
some messy Carhartts.
Wow, you know, I'm on a journey with wanting Carhartt
Yeah.
stuff. They won't send me any, of course.
Okay.
One time I tried to go to New York, there was a long line. They said, I want it, but not that badly.
Yeah, I don't know if I want it new. I kind of feel
Oh.
like I want it old.
How would you get it old?
Do you live around here? Or you don't have
No,
to say.
I'm in New York.
Oh, you are in New
Yeah.
York. That's
Wait,
right.
I literally thought you lived here.
So I'm from here.
Forget.
here,
You're
but-
twisty
yeah.
turny.
This is a little around, but
You're bopping.
Yeah, I'm bopping.
But you have an apartment in New York.
I have a storage unit in New York right now, in New Jersey,
Really?
And that's it.
and that's it.
Where do you stay when you're here?
Where
With
do
my
you stay?
mom,
With them,
or
with
just
them.
with friends.
And where do you stay when
Oh.
you're in New York?
So I usually have an apartment. I was away. I was like out of the country for 4 months, so I put my stuff away, and then
Yeah. Where did you go?
December I was in Calgary, Alberta.
Oh,
now,
fun.
what part of
Canada.
Canada is that?
So that's like
Right or left?
right above Wyoming. It's left.
Thank you.
To the
It's,
left, to the left.
it's like
Everything
in,
you want is in
Calgary.
Calgary.
to the
Okay,
left.
above
It's like
Wyoming.
In
it's above
Calgary, that's
Wyoming,
my
Montana, actually, I think, and it's like a 12-hour drive to Vancouver.
A 12-hour drive.
And I know it because I did it.
Why?
We just wanted to do a little end of season like drive.
That's cute.
and-
And you flew
Wait,
from
who is
Vancouver.
this? You and whom?
So can you share
So
what
me
you're
and
working
some of my
on?
castmates 2 years ago when we finished the first season
Of what?
of My Life with the Walter Boys.
Oh, cool.
Scream
and then-
that.
The Walter
if you
Boys, is
want-
that a play on Altar Boys?
No, but that's really interesting.
Yeah.
You should work on the show.
You actually, I mean, we would love to have you,
Yeah.
but we just finished our second season, so
And how was it?
it was good. It was like, we're like in a cow town. Like Calgary is the Texas of Canada, is what they call it.
Wow.
So
well, imagine me then, being from Texas,
You know, a lot of people are telling you what
thinking
the
about Calgary.
and a lot of people often will say something is the Brooklyn of something, but you rarely hear someone say it's the Texas of something.
They sometimes do. They'll say, well, people were calling Buenos Aires the Paris of South America. And
It's so interesting when people feel the need to. It's like, why don't we just let
let it
Calgary
be.
be its own thing?
To quote the Beatles, let it be. Thank you.
Yeah.
And to quote the Beatles, I want to hold your hand.
So you're coming off this intense 4-month experience.
Very emotionally draining.
Really?
Oh my God, let us
taxing.
nourish you. Let us water
Yeah.
you. Let us water you.
So, but now are you looking for a new place in New York?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't know exactly what I want, but I know that I want enough space to like have all my books and
Yeah.
room to dance.
What kind of books do you read?
Room to dance.
Room to dance. Really?
Room to dance. Well, I was living in like shoe boxes for the
Yeah.
past 4 years. So
Oh
I
my
moved to New York like
God.
4 years ago. And actually, this is kind of crazy. I don't want to embarrass you guys, but you kind of like raised me a little bit
No.
when I moved to New York.
Minkus is your dad,
Minkus-
but we raised
You
you.
raised me because
we have an
I
open adoption policy with Minkus. We adopted Minkus' son, but we let them see each other whenever they want.
moved to New York and I found out about podcasts, kind
Oh my
of.
God.
That's a
And I
classic story.
Asked my friend Charlotte Weinman. I was like, "What?"
Charlotte
podca-"
Weinman is
Charlotte
everything.
Weinman.
Yeah, shout out. I was like, "What should I listen to?" And she was like, "Seek Treatment."
Wow.
Thank you,
And I did,
Charlotte.
and
Thank
I've
you,
been listening
Char.
ever since.
That is so nice.
That is so sweet. Thank you so much.
So
for
my whole New
listening.
York experience has been like kind of with you.
That is
guys.
so sweet.
I wanna be with you.
Be with you.
And when
Only
you
forever.
showed up at her doorstep, hair wet, saying "I'm moving,"
Yeah.
I was like, "This is really sad. This is like the end." Of
It was
Yeah.
sad. But now
Did
we
you
have
cry?
No, I think
We've always been, even when we lived in the same place, we're always not
Not
in the
doing your
same
own thing.
place. Yeah.
I feel like you probably feel this way too. It's like it doesn't matter where your friends live because everyone's just
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, for sure.
Like you're always traveling. Sabrina's always traveling.
Yeah, and then just like when we're in the same place, like we pick back up, and it's like no time has passed.
It's
but
like no T
Right,
has P.
SP. Now, and who is the other person in it again? Who is the main girl?
oh, her name's Rowan.
And did she go to the show?
No, she's in New York.
TMZ is click clacking, click clacking, click clacking.
She's in New York.
She's in New York.
A TMZ or just touched their pen to their tongue and started scribbling down on a legal pad.
So
They
when
listen to the podcast.
yeah, they all
every
listen.
TMZ writer listens
They're
for this. They have to
obsessed.
for their jobs because of the topical scoops we go.
Because the tea
Well, because
is
you
too
guys are just like
piping.
really honest.
I guess that's what we suffer from.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if
That's why it's always terrible for us when an episode comes out.
Yeah. So, how do you decide what you want to share?
There's
with the
no
world?
conscious thought until after we've said it.
after we said
Okay.
it, then we go, maybe we shouldn't have said that, and then it's like too late because it's out.
Well, it's like, you know how it's like. It's like you want. Obviously, our work is like we're putting so much conscious thought into, and then this is more kind of freewheeling.
Right.
And yet this is the thing
Yeah.
that draws in the young group.
The young group.
The young group of up and coming
Do you think
stars.
that Gen Z cares about television? Or do you think they desire something less mercurial than or ephemeral than TikTok? Or do you think literally the future is TikTok?
I think there's definitely a desire for it.
Because Gen Z watches Friends. They always say that.
Gen Z.
Gen Z
that's
watches
true.
Friends.
I mean, yeah, people are rewatching stuff
So
in a very big way.
Yeah.
I do feel like them liking Friends is a good sign for what we're talking about, which is like, why can't a show
Be funny.
just be funny and not have to be like a cliffhanger every second?
Yes. Like, why does it always have to be
Murder.
Topanga shows up with wet hair?
Well,
And
we
says,
do crave that.
Yeah, I feel like sitcoms are kind of on the way out.
But are they on
maybe?
the way back?
I don't know.
They're definitely on the way out, but are they on the way back? No, I think they're not even on the way out. They're like out. It's like,
They're
well,
just out.
it's like, but it's like, will there be a back? I mean, it's like, do I want to write that? I can't tell. I
People
think
love
so.
Abbott,
People love Abbott.
and that's good
And
for
that's
everyone.
important, yeah.
Let funny be funny. But wait, what was I going to say to you? Well, I think we should dive in because on this podcast we ask one question, as you know.
Mhm.
Who
are
are
you?
you?
Who are you? And who do you want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was a theater kid.
Mm-hmm.
I
California.
We're in Los
California,
Angeles.
so a little bit north of Ventura County,
Mhm.
Okay.
between
I remember you told me the name. It's like begins with a C.
Thousand Oaks and between Thousand Oaks and Ventura. and
Remember
Oxnard.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Camarillo. And yeah, I was like, I just like loved Annie. And like I was like
Oh.
always like on the ground, like scrubbing the floor, like singing "It's a Hard Knock Life."
And you need room in New York to do that.
And I really need room.
Did you see the VHS where she goes to London and gets kidnapped?
So I've seen that later in life. I grew up with the Kathy Bates one,
Of course.
the Disney one.
Oh, wait.
Um,
No, that's not the one I know.
there's so many.
What's the OG one?
That's the with Punjab.
I don't know.
I'm talking about a VHS tape where it's like a spin-off in the Annie universe.
Okay, so
where
actually, I don't even think I've seen that
she's
one.
brought to London. Her friend
There's
is still
so
at the
many.
orphanage, so she's like not allowed to go, but they sneak her in a suitcase. And
Was
then
that your favorite?
her friend, and her other friend get kidnapped and trapped in a dungeon with
That
snakes.
sucks.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
How did
I'm
we
so
get
sorry.
there?
Then they meet boys playing cricket, and then they meet boys playing cricket and develop crushes on them.
How old are the kids at this point?
Probably 12.
Unbelievable.
I know, to be 12 in a dungeon with snakes.
Unbelievable.
And
So
an
who
orphan?
wrote that? Who sat down at Final Draft and said, I would like to tell another
That
chapter.
was so good, the
of-
crack.
I would tell another chapter of Annie's story
Yeah.
when she goes to London and gets kidnapped in a dungeon. But in any case, it's not real. And I don't know,
Huh.
actually. I've never
It's
seen
like a
It's not
actually.
based on a real
I've never
story?
seen regular Annie. I've
Oh.
only seen that VHS
That's
tape.
insane.
And it's not musical.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure it's connected in any way? Well,
I
regular
got a lot
Annie's
of DMs from people saying they've seen it.
maybe real nearby. Maybe.
Maybe
That song is
far.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
I lost my voice a little bit. The other day I was singing it, and I would have sung it for you if I had more voice.
If I had been there.
Maybe far away. That's such a great song.
That is a great
Is that from
song.
Annie?
Yeah.
No one talks about it.
Oh, people are talking about it.
I've never heard talk of that song. I've heard It's a Hard Knock
He's
Life.
sitting playing piano.
I heard Tomorrow.
He's in this straight in his
It was kind of sad though because
heart.
I could never do it because there's no parts for
There's no boy part.
little boys.
What if, oh, yes.
once.
Well, what about
For
when-
once.
The
I'm
only-
like, it's so
It's the only
hard.
time it's happened.
But when a school's doing.
What if you did a gender fucked Annie? Adult Annie, gender fucked.
I would love to do that.
You could play her.
I could play Annie or I could play like the crazy like
Pepper or whatever. What's her name?
uncle or the Kristen Chenoweth role.
There's a
Mhm,
gender
that'd be
fucked.
good.
There's a gender fucked role I really want to play right now.
What?
I want to play a gender fucked on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Mary Cosby's son's wife.
Oh my God.
I need to play this girl.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Corey,
On Broadway?
do you want to
Oh,
produce?
on Broadway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to produce my friend playing a gender fucked version of Mary Cosby's son's wife on Broadway?
It could be Mary's daughter-in-law, the musical.
Oh, we call Oh Mary.
Oh, yeah.
That could be cool.
Oh, Mary's daughter-in-law.
Oh Mary's daughter-in-law. Something fun. So you were a little kid. You loved Annie.
Loved
You were
Annie.
sing song.
Yeah, and I
And you said, "Mama, I want to be a star."
kind of did say that.
Yeah.
I said, "Mama, I want to be her."
and
And I just like started doing community theater and I loved it and I kind of thought that was going to be like what I did forever, theater. And I had a friend who was auditioning for TV film stuff and I was like, "Okay, like yeah, sure, like I'll try that." And like a year into auditioning, I got Girl Meets World.
That's
I was
crazy.
How old were
13.
you?
I was 13.
Wow.
What was that
And-
process like?
Um
Must have been so old school.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about this. If it happened today, I would be so intimidated because like my
Really?
final audition was like at the Disney building, a huge room of like 12 people behind a table.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now everything is basically on Zoom. I mean, they do screen tests, but
Yeah.
like I haven't done really anything in person except for like theater stuff.
Yeah, I've had maybe 2 in-person auditions
Yeah.
in the past.
I would
so
never.
I
sad.
kind of miss it.
I miss it
though.
so
It
bad.
was so fun.
It's amazing, and you're getting notes in real time, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like vibing, and like,
I would certainly like that better than self-tape.
yeah, it's just like, it's
shot in the
sad.
dark.
You
Yeah.
went, you had the big exact
So I had
audition,
that.
and then how'd they call you?
And I remember, so I found out the next day. I went to my improv class, and my mom.
Wait, where were you taking improv
I
classes?
was taking improv at John D'Aquino.
Don't you just sneak that by?
So it wasn't UCB yet. It was John D'Aquino.
I don't know
He had
that.
like a little like children's acting school.
Was
Oh
it
my
was
God.
it
He played the
comedy?
president on Corey in the House, I think.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh my God, an
Yeah,
amazing film.
Yeah.
Yo,
And
Of course.
so I feel like maybe he had something to do with the Disney Channel of it
Totally.
all.
he must be closely linked.
Yeah. And so I'd gotten home from that and my mom so before I went into my audition I was like, if I get the part, like, can I have a donut or something? I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know why.
Totally.
And so she had
No,
gotten
it's normal.
She-
We
I
have
always
to-
say that to my boyfriend.
and she had gotten me like a 12-pack of donuts from like the grocery store.
What kind?
It was like a little bit of
Powder?
everything. It was like, the
Assorted
plain, the
pot.
glaze. And there was a sign that said "Welcome Home, Farkle," which was the name of the character.
Yes.
Farkle.
Minkus' son. Like,
Minkus'
Yeah,
son,
it's like
Farkle.
literally in the great tradition of Minkus.
I would tell
Yeah.
you that we always make fun of my sister because she had this really, when we were little, I think it's either my sister or my brother. They were like, as this treat, people were going to Dunkin' Donuts and you get anything you want. And they always have one that's called the manager special. That's like kind of different. And I think it was my sister was little and I was like, what do you want, Grace? She's like, I want the manager special.
Did it change or was it the same thing all the time?
It's always like tie-dye or like something that the manager kind
cool.
of goes off and expresses himself through the manager special.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love to relax, and sometimes an amazing way to relax is with a cool beverage.
And I love to offer a nice, fun beverage to people that I have over my house.
Yeah, well, sometimes Pat's drinking regular iced tea, and I'm like, wait, I want to kick this up a notch, #Emerald Lagasse, and I want to have a twisted tea. Twisted tea is a refreshing hard iced tea made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. It tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Ever heard of that? But it has a little kick with a 1, 2, 3, 4.
How could it not taste like something it is, which is real iced tea?
And it has a little bit of a kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% ABV. Full of flavor, very refreshing. Plus, no carbonation, so it rolls down your tongue into your gullet, into your belly. So smooth. I know Pat has seen me absolutely rock and roll with a twisted tea in my hand.
I know when my garage is twisted tea, we're about to have an amazing night.
Twisted tea is the perfect beverage to keep the good times going all year long. Whether you're hanging out at a friend's house, catching a game at the stadium or at the bar, or just seeing where the day takes you, Twisted tea is there to turn your day up a notch and make a good time a great time. Grab a refreshing Twisted tea today and keep it twisted, mama.
Wow. So did you feel
What
like
did
your
you
whole life
feel?
changed?
Were you like, it's happening?
And
I
how?
had no clue what was going on.
But we were like, oh my
Really?
god, I'm gonna be on. Did you watch Disney Channel?
I did watch Disney Channel. I
This.
know it
Were
was
you this?
yeah. I did do
You're
that.
watching.
Did you get to do one of these?
I did do that.
No.
You
Can
guys,
we
it
roll
was-
the footage? Roll the footage.
No, it's so scary. It was
Why?
so hard
Of
Why?
course.
because you have to like look in the camera the whole time, and then you have marks on the floor that you have to like just gauge out of your periphery.
Wow.
For people
And
who
it's
aren't,
so
who, are,
specific.
who aren't watching, we're talking
We're
about the
doing the
glow
thing.
stick.
Oh yeah, this is a
mouse.
podcast.
Yeah, technically.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was hard, and also I didn't realize that they didn't tell you what to say. So I just remember being so stressed out about what I was gonna say. I was like, "What's my little tagline gonna be?"
Wow.
And I ended up coming up with, "I could get used to that."
Oh, like to doing this.
I was like, "I could get used to
oh
that."
my! I didn't realize they had taglines like Real Housewives.
could get
That's the original Real Housewives. What's crazy, Corey, is I peed as you saw immediately before this episode.
He has to go.
I have to pee again.
Oh,
And
okay,
I'm so sorry about that.
it's okay.
I must have a medically small bladder.
I think it's mental.
You're just really hydrated.
No, I have to pee so
Are
bad.
you nervous?
I am quite. Well, I've been drinking at least 132 ounces of water every
That's
day.
a lot of. That's so
But it's
good.
completely necessary.
Yeah.
All right, right back.
Oh, we can keep going.
So my mom was telling me how you shouldn't be drinking too much water all at once because then it kind of like floods the kidney
yeah,
and
people
then.
say that.
So what is the truth?
I don't think that is the truth.
I've been taking small sips ever since she told me that,
When did she tell you that?
like a couple months ago.
No, I'm struggling to figure out the electrolyte situation.
Oh yeah.
'Cause everyone's now saying you can't just have water, you need to have salt in it so you can absorb the water.
Oh. So
And that can't be
salty
true.
water all
yeah,
the time.
and that can't be true because I eat enough salt.
Does it? Yeah. Maybe it doesn't have to be at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe just like salted butter.
Yeah. Anyways,
side.
so ask your mom.
I'll ask her. But
Are you guys still besties? Like, are you super
we
close?
are really close. We
That's so
spent
nice.
almost 4 years like driving from LA to Camarillo every day.
So it was 4 seasons.
So we did 3 seasons in 4 years. I don't know
Mhm.
why. It ended up being like my whole high school
That's
years,
crazy.
which I was really happy about because then I got to have like the same set teacher and it was a
Yeah.
little more routine.
So you weren't in regular high school.
No.
You had full set teacher.
Yeah, I was really sad actually.
Really?
Yeah, because I just loved being in class. I felt like I learned so much.
Oh wow. Who was
And-
your set teacher?
His name is Wesley Staples.
Where is he?
He is a little bit all over the place, but he's between LA, New York, and Cabo.
And Cabo.
Not me airing out all his homes, but
Is he still a set teacher?
he is still a set teacher. He did Boy Meets World. So
No.
our classroom was covered in photos from like literally of
This
them
is
as
crazy.
kids.
I'm getting crazy tea. Corey didn't go to normal high school. He
Are
had
you
a set
serious?
teacher named Wesley.
Wesley.
And Wesley was the set teacher for the original Boy Meets World.
Oh my God.
Would y'all learn as a group? Or
So
was it
we
one-on-one?
did. We would do like we would read like The Great Gatsby together and
That is
Anthem.
so cute.
But weren't you all different ages?
We were more or less like in the same grade.
How old was Sab?
We're the same age.
But she played older, right? Were you?
No, I was just
you were
I
in their
just was
grade.
like a late
How many
bloomer.
kids were in the class with you?
There was in the first season 4 that spoke, and then like we had like background kids around us.
And did you treat them kindly?
Of course.
I know.
Of course, but it was so weird that
Of
all these
course.
kids just like never talk, and we were like it was
Yeah.
main character.
Yeah.
Totally.
Did it ruin you?
And then by season 3, I will get back to that.
Yeah.
By season 3, there was 6 that spoke, so we added a couple
Wow.
people.
Aw, that's like in the original evolving, adding Angela, adding the Lawrence brother,
Of
adding
course,
that
Yes.
girl Rachel with red hair.
Yes.
Mm.
So did it ruin me?
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean, you're
a
pretty
little
lovely.
bit.
But how did you not go
Sometimes it's hard to talk to people, honestly.
Really? In what
Really?
way?
No, that's for
Well,
me too, and I
I
wasn't on
gr-
television ever.
Not yet. You have been since.
That's reassuring.
My friend's been on streaming.
Yeah,
and
it was funny.
oh, thank you.
I watched it this summer.
Prion.
Yes, I watched
Oh,
it this
thank
summer,
you.
and I can't wait for
I-
season 4.
I just mean to say that it's hard to talk to people.
Yeah, so I think like for the longest time I was so comfortable with like adults. And so when
Mm-hmm.
it came to being with kids my age, because I wasn't really socialized in an
That's why he's comfortable with
environment.
us.
Yeah.
Maybe no.
Can I ask your biological age?
I'm 25.
Oh, okay.
That's standard.
Yeah, that's standard here.
That's standard
We had,
stuff.
listen, we just had a 25.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
It could have been worse.
I could have been
Yeah.
shook to my core. But wait, so okay, yeah, because you're on. I mean, it's just it's the classic thing. It's like a child star. What happens?
I don't know, and I think also it's like I mean Sabrina came out of it totally fine. She could talk to anybody.
Yeah.
So I think maybe
But so can you.
Maybe it
Yeah,
was
look at
just
you,
like
talking
who I
about it.
am, but I felt like I don't really know how to like hang. I had someone
I disagree. I had someone who's hung
Yeah.
I
with
had
you.
an ex told me that I can't kiki.
No.
And I was like, I
who would
can't.
say that to someone's face?
I
you
know.
can't.
Well, it was over text
But here's the
and
thing.
a voice memo.
Sometimes
You can't kiki is so funny.
I got
You
it.
can't kiki. But I
You
can't
can't
kiki.
kiki with us.
But I'm learning about myself.
It was just
It's
like, no, you just can't do this. And I was like, well, I'm trying.
With him or with
Oh.
anyone, did he mean?
It was with him.
Well, it sounds like it's a him thing. I think there's some
I think it
people
was
that you
a
just
both of
can't
us.
kiki with. And there's some people who can. There's
Yeah.
no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
Like there's some people I meet and I'm like, for no reason, I cannot kiki with you.
I know.
And then some people, it's like you can.
I think that's okay.
Yeah. So let's call your ex.
Get him up here.
How many exes do you have?
2 or 3.
Perfect.
2 or 3.
That's perfect for your age.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are you dating now?
No.
Single and mingling?
I'm so single. I'm not really mingling.
Just singling.
I'm just like, yeah, I'm just trying to like focus on what I need to do.
totally.
And I feel like when I'm with somebody, it's very easy for me to just kind of go along with what they want.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
I've dated some very opinionated people, and I feel like the
Mm.
reason I dated them in the first place was because they really went after what they want.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to figure out what it is that I want and what I think about things, and it's easiest for me to do that alone right now.
Totally. So what happened?
so-
What was it like when the show ended? Like what happened next?
And how
Well,
many years did it run?
So we did 72 episodes in 3 years.
3
Wow.
seasons in 4 years.
Wow.
And
So
we don't know why it
knowing-
worked out that way, but it worked out that way.
Yeah, so I don't know how that happened.
Were you sad when it ended or ready?
I was ready because I really didn't want to get pigeonholed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the name Farkle is still following me around because it's so that's the thing, when the character's name is more interesting than your own, that's what people remember.
It's just so funny because you're such a cool person, and to be called Farkle is so funny.
So I was not cool on the show. They were like, it was like turtlenecks, 3 layers of like every different pattern imaginable.
But now you're
imaginable.
literally walking Fashion Week. I saw you walk Fashion Week.
How do you get your hair like that? Is it a wet look?
So I just air dried it. I air dried it.
Totally.
But it is interesting because it's different.
You air
every
dried
day.
it. Okay, so that's just to mean you took a shower and then you didn't do much.
Yeah,
do
I
you
just
towel
kind of
it,
like
though?
took a towel. I like scrunch.
That's so you do scrunch.
I scrunched, and there's this thing that I started using
scrunch?
this year. What?
Should I scrunch?
I think so.
Okay, I will.
There's this thing called. I mean, if you want to, it works for me, but what works for me doesn't work for everyone.
True.
I know that's
And
not
vice versa.
Out of the mouths of babes comes the truth.
Oh, really?
Really?
The movie?
Yeah.
That movie made me cry.
Did you ever see Babes in Toyland?
Babes in Toyland? No.
I haven't
Did
seen
you?
that.
I haven't seen it since I was little.
Yeah.
In any case. Okay,
So there's this thing called New Wash that I found out about this year where we're not shampooing anymore.
Oh, but I don't
At New
condition.
Wash.
What's New Wash?
Oh.
So you're only conditioning?
Kind of.
I'm
Oh,
only
look at this
shampooing
thing.
because you know what? Conditioner makes my hair flat.
Okay.
TMZ is writing.
Okay, so
What's New Wash?
So basically, it's just like a conditioner that you massage into your hair for like 3 or 5 minutes, depending on how much time you have, and it's supposed to keep the natural oils in your hair instead of getting them.
I know. Well, you
Out.
need natural oils.
Me?
No, everyone.
Oh,
He says keep. He says keep the natural oil.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
so maybe I'll
yes.
try New Wash.
Could
so
be cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been liking it because that's something that I'm trying to figure out all the time.
The hair.
Ever since the bowl cut,
Mhm.
You know, people call me bowl cut in middle school.
really,
You guys have a lot in common.
Yeah.
we do have a lot in common.
Yeah.
It's like just something I think about all the time. And I come onto like a new set and I'm like, okay, so what are we doing with the hair? And I'm like, and they're like, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, okay, but at one time it really wasn't
Yeah.
okay. And now it's like documented.
Everyone called me bowl cut, and then even now it's like the other day my hair, like I didn't put product in it enough, and then it fell down. And then someone was like, "You have like a Caesar cut," and it was like so triggering.
What's that? What's Caesar cut?
It's like
Little
a bowl.
bangs.
It's like kind of a bowl cut almost.
So what's working for you right now?
I'm like,
It looks good today.
I felt like I'd figured it out, and now it's been unfigured. I want to make it longer, but
That
then
could be
like once
fun.
it gets longer, I always say it's higher ceiling, lower floor.
Yeah, that is so true.
Like it has the potential to look so much better, but it has the potential to look absolutely
That's so true.
psychotic.
Do you wear hats?
I do.
Dua
Okay.
Lipa?
I do a Lipa. I do a Lipa.
Dua Lipa?
But anyway, I feel like I've been boring and like commandeered this. But what?
No.
Okay.
Well, I was asking.
Yeah.
This is a back and forth. This is a round table.
It is a
This is a
conversation.
trialogue.
After all,
this is
we're-
a trialogue.
It's a trialogue. No one said that before.
I know.
That's
What the
good.
fuck is wrong with everyone?
Monsters. Monsters, everyone. A lot of them. So you're leaving the show and you're
So
like,
we're leaving the show, and I was excited to do other things.
Yeah.
Of course,
and at this
I
point
was
you're,
gonna
what,
miss
you're like
people.
18.
I was 17 when we finished, and so I think I
Wow.
had like a little bit more school to do on my own.
Yeah, did you want to go to call or you're like, I'm
So
just
I
going to keep the
did
Hollywood
want to go to
dream?
college, and then I, for some reason, never took the SATs or ACTs, and
Well,
then
because they fucking suck and aren't fun.
I know.
yeah,
Fucking boo.
so I
I
never
know.
did that. But I did take the Chess P, which basically allows you to work as a legal adult when you're 16. So I did take that.
But
What's
the chess
that?
P?
So basically, you can test. You can.
Chessy from the Parent Trap.
I know.
It's an acronym, but I don't remember what it's for. You can test out of high school, and so some people stop at like grade 10, and I
And
didn't
it
do that.
shows.
Yeah.
Well, and it was so disheartening because it was the easiest test I'd ever taken.
Wow.
I remember going and being mad. I was like, "There's no way this is this easy."
What do they ask you? I wonder if I'd pass.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember
But you did it with flying colors.
at the time.
So at 16, you were like, I'm done.
No, so I did finish because
Okay.
school was really important to me, and then I
Because you're kind of a voracious reader.
am.
Yeah.
I go through phases of it for sure.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm reading this book called Once a Runner.
Oh, I've read that a million times.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
cult classic.
So I love it.
Yeah.
I started running this summer.
Really?
And I'm going to run a half marathon in New York on December 14th.
Oh, which
This is so
one?
soon.
It's in Central Park.
Interesting. Now, do you know that there's a sequel called Again to Carthage?
No.
There's a sequel called Again to Carthage.
Okay.
Where are you in Once a Runner?
Section 15. So I'm not that far actually.
yeah. It's
but
a great book.
it's so amazing. It's
What's
so
it about?
quirky.
It's just-
it's literally about running.
It's like a college runner, but it's literally like the Bible for like in the running world.
Should I
of,
get
like,
into it?
Yeah, you might like
I
it. I mean,
wonder
it's a
if
great
you'll-
piece of work in any case, but it's like as a runner in college, I read it, and it was like it's like these are
Wow.
the runners' Bibles of literature.
Ooh.
Once a Runner and Running with the Buffaloes, in which
the
Chris
Buffaloes.
Lear goes to legendary program Colorado, lives with them for 3 months, and documents their quest for the NCAA
The
title.
Buffaloes?
The Buffalo, like the Colorado Buffaloes.
Oh, I
The
thought it was
team.
like real.
The team, the Colorado.
not the animal.
Okay.
No,
And I wasn't trying to make a joke.
I was
but
with you.
it's
Thank you.
so good. But it's like a crazy season because it's just when they have these big stars on the team and they were like gonna win. Perhaps one of them. I mean, spoiler. One of they have like one person who's like gonna win the NCAA title and two that should be top 10, and they need those three. That kind of triad to get the team title. Literally,
What?
right before I think it was conference, one of them riding a bike dies
Are you kidding
How?
me?
from riding a bike into like a tree or something.
Oh.
Life is so precious.
But imagine this, and this writer is literally documenting their
In real
NCAA
time.
chances. So it's like this crazy, but it's also everyone's running 100 miles a week. It's when Mark Wetmore, who's recently been let go from a legendary coach, he says this quote because it also speaks to like this kind of problematic culture around running, where it's like on the first day he gives a speech to these college kids and he's talking about how fit people should be, and he says a distance runner. This is a direct quote. A distance runner should look like a skeleton with a condom pulled over it.
Oh.
Wait, what?
And so now people look
What?
back. This was in '99. So now
Oh.
people look back and say that wasn't great.
Oh.
Oh my God, like a skeleton and the skin is just a condom?
So he's saying
wants
that
the skin to be
you should
translucent.
be quite lean
Well,
if you would like to be on this team.
I'm
Very
understanding.
descriptive
Lean
way
is
to say
a
that.
bit of an understatement.
I know. So anyways.
Okay, next year I'm going as a skeleton
Once
with
a
a
Runner
condom.
is fiction and it's so good.
Yeah.
And it's really about
Oh, it's fiction.
being
It
in
is
this.
fiction.
Yes.
But did you hear what I said? Next Halloween,
You're being
I'm going to be that.
That's fun. But it's so much about running, but also I find myself like laughing out loud because
Yeah.
everyone's the characters are so interesting.
How did you find that book? 'Cause I've never met someone who wasn't like currently running for a college that was reading it.
Yeah, so just like my character in Walter Boys in season 1, they kind of threw it in that he's running, and I was just like looking for a way to physicalize it when I went back this year. I never ended up running on the show again, but I was just staying like on the river, and I just decided to pick up running, and I wanted to read something. So it was just kind of curiosity through the character that I was playing, and I
That's
ended up
so
loving
cool.
running.
It's Quentin Cassidy, right? Is the protagonist.
Yes.
He is it's such a revered literary figure in this running world.
It's a Holden
Yeah.
Caulfield of running.
Truly.
This is so inspiring. You are living the actor's dream. Like you're actually being an actor.
Yeah.
Like you're getting into the character.
Yeah.
When I show up, I'm just like, meh, meh, meh.
Yeah.
Wait, and you're living by a river. And do you listen to us when you run?
No, so I don't. No. But
Sorry, I just, ow, am I
Kat-
sitting on something?
Kat, I don't listen to anything.
Me
That's
too.
crazy.
Me too.
You're both crazy.
So I'm trying to listen to my body more.
Yes, and listen to your
Not the
thoughts.
Listen to my thoughts.
No, make it stop.
I feel like I want to do that more in life.
What is your training like?
So
Oh, God.
I don't know if I'm doing it
Poker.
right. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but
There's no right or wrong.
I haven't run the distance yet.
That's fine. Don't worry about
but
that.
I've done up to 10.
Great.
And
That's amazing.
I was kind of going for like a zone 2, but without actually knowing what my
Like
heart
effort
rate-
level?
Yeah, so I didn't. Yeah, so I just like
Yeah.
slow and steady. And over the course of the 4 months that I was running maybe like between 2 and 5 times a week, 4 times a week.
Uh-huh.
And I would do like 45 minutes. And when I first started, that was like 4 miles. And
Yeah.
by the end of it, I'm doing like almost like 7 miles.
That's great. And don't I always
So I'm
say
speeding. I'm speeding
Yes.
up without trying to,
Totally.
and that's so cool to see to feel my body just.
Totally.
And isn't that what I
evolve.
always say to people starting out?
Yes.
Is go by time. I
And
say go
that's
by time.
The
Yeah.
summer, the year that I got into running, that was going to go, I'm going to go for 20 minutes.
And because guess
all of
what?
a sudden,
Your-
you're doing 3 miles.
Your body does not
Not
know the
quite.
difference between the 4 miles and the 7 miles. It knows it's expected to operate at a certain effort level for this amount of time, and it doesn't know what ground you're covering.
I got to get back in there.
In any case,
So, you know, my
So we've been
glutes are
talking
too
about
weak.
running for a long time, but
here us.
yeah,
Okay.
I just don't know if it's interesting to everyone.
Oh, me? Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But do you have any advice for me before the half marathon?
I think you should leave this half marathon excited to do more. So just focus on enjoying it,
Okay.
and then like get a baseline, and then if you're like, oh, I would like to focus more on performance, then you could think about how to get faster.
Okay,
But I think right now build that aerobic pace for sure.
cool.
And
Oh,
yes,
amazing.
yeah. Oh God, should I run again?
You love it so much.
I know.
Why did you stop?
I feel like you'll come back eventually.
I stopped because it really beats me up, and I can't. I have a very obsessive mind, and I can't seem to moderate it. I can't seem to. My last time I ran, I was like, I was running 90 miles a week. I was doing these great workouts, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to PR in the half marathon, and then I'm going to run a full, and I'm going to finally get that white whale of a good full marathon. And so in January 2 years ago, I was like racing. It was a 10-miler. I was like, I had run that course when I was in the best shape of my life in 2012. And I was like, and that was when I ran my half marathon PR like that spring. So I was like, let me just see where I am. And I had run a half the previous fall and was like I was 5 minutes off my half marathon PR. So I was like, it's a large gap. But I was like, let me run this 10-miler in January and see how much I've closed the gap, because I could tell I'd been getting fitter. And I was like, if I'm within a minute and a half of like my time from 2012, I will be like in a good place. Literally ran lights out, the best race of my life. Ran 40 seconds faster than 2012. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to PR for the half. But then this thing takes over where then I was doing a lot of threshold workouts at like mile repeats with like short breaks. And before I just done them effort-based, but after I ran that time, I was like, everything has to be, at the time, I think I was like, everything has to be at 5:35 or faster. And I did that for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, I literally could not run. I would show up to a track sprinting as hard as I could, and I couldn't run under 6:30 pace. It was crazy.
Oh, no.
And then I stopped, and then I started lifting weights. I just burned myself out.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm being boring.
No. Was that convincing?
No, I just wish that I could get into any kind of fitness thing.
Yeah, I just love to physically exhaust myself.
I just don't like anything but laying down. What's wrong with me?
Nothing.
I just want to lay down all the time. I'm so tired.
You're tired.
I want to do Pilates.
Oh
Okay,
my
but
I
in
haven't
any
done
case-
that much.
So who are you now? You're a runner. You're not
I'm a
dating.
runner. I'm an actor.
When was your
But
last
I
film?
am curious about the switch from like child actor to adult
Yeah.
actor and how it's been.
So I feel like I'm definitely still navigating that. There was a big period of time where I felt a lot of pressure to prove that I could do other things, especially because Girl Meets World was a sitcom, but it was also a multicam sitcom. So we had the 4 cameras, and it was very like slapstick, and we had a very specific tone, and it's just like that's not something that you can always then transition into other stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it's like you just don't act in that way, like you don't have that, or people can't see you in any other way. So what did I do? I took some class. Anthony Meindl's actor workshop here in LA was great for me because it just really got me listening and breathing and just like
Hard to remember.
yeah, and just like going with my impulses. And so I did that for a couple of years, and then did a couple fun horror projects.
Oh, like what? Because you kind of are reminding me of. Do you watch season 1 of American Horror Story?
Yes.
You're reminding me of the guy in that.
Evan Peters?
Yes, who is that?
Oh my God.
But
he's
especially in that,
unbelievable.
especially
Yeah,
in
he's
that,
really good in that.
especially in that piece.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did some of that. I did Ma with Octavia Spencer.
I need to watch Ma.
Which
I
was
love
so,
Ma. Wait,
which
you're in
was-
Ma?
Yeah.
I love Ma.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What are you
cool.
in Ma?
You know
I
Cara?
watched it
You
so
know
long
I'm the
Cara
ago.
went as
kid.
Ma for Halloween.
I'm
Who?
Cara.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know.
I'm the
Ma's like one of my favorites.
That's so cool. I'm Luke Evans' son. So she
You're always someone's son.
well
He's young.
Whether it's
Pat.
Luke Evans or Minkus.
so Octavia's character was like lusting after him in high school, and when she meets me, she recognizes his last name on my van.
Oh, so you're like
my
a
God.
main character.
And so she's like flirting with me, and we do kiss.
Oh my God.
At the
That's
end.
amazing.
I saw Ma a long time ago. I don't remember like all the
I gotta
ins
watch
and
it.
outs. I just remember loving it.
It's so funny. It was so fun to make.
Where'd y'all shoot it?
We shot it in Mississippi,
Cool.
rural Mississippi.
Wait, that's
my
huge
God.
that you were in Ma.
Yeah, that was like my first cool, like not my
People
first cool
love
thing, but
Ma.
my first like movie.
Yeah.
It came out in theaters.
So sick.
I never thought that would happen. I just like never
It's
thought
just
that would
the
And it's
happen.
a cult classic. It's
That's
beloved.
So
Yeah.
we didn't. I don't think we knew that what we were making that, or at least I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, this is very serious. I
Yeah.
was like, this is serious, and
Uh,
it was, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I decided I wanted to move to New York because I love theater, and I moved there in 2019 and started listening to Seek Treatment.
oh my God, 2019.
2019.
And what,
And-
Last time I felt
what are your,
joy.
as a listener, what are your opinions of us? Be honest.
What do you think's wrong with us?
So sometimes I am shocked at what you guys say.
Really?
About what?
Just like certain things about like what happens to you behind closed doors.
What do you mean?
You mean sexually?
Yeah. And
There's
maybe
so
that's
much-
more
Wait,
just like about
you're
me.
sexually shocked.
Yeah, I'm sexually
There's so
shocked.
much I'm not saying sexually. You're seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Well,
Wait, what? Give us an example. Give us
And
an
I think
example.
it's just maybe I'm just like very private, or maybe I feel like I'm very scared to share myself. Like
That's
I
probably
don't.
good.
Yeah, we're
shouldn't
doing
do
it
this.
so.
I was a little
Do
scared
as we
to
say, not as we do.
do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah.
No, but I love it. Like
Yeah.
it's so refreshing. And my favorite episodes are literally when it's just you guys talking about what you're doing that day.
Oh my god.
That's so
It's
sweet.
it's so funny to me and so comforting. And I listen to it when I go to bed.
That's
So
so
it's like
sweet.
I kind of go to bed with you
We're
guys.
all
Oh
going
my!
to
We're all going
bed.
to. We're all
Good night,
going.
moon. We're your good night moon.
Yeah. Wait, what kind of sexual stuff that we say that?
Yeah,
is
what do we?
shocking?
What's shocking to the young mind?
Yeah.
The young mind can't comprehend.
Hey.
I'm shocked. What do you think of us? I'm shocked by what you said.
You said something that came out a couple weeks ago.
Me or
that I-
Catherine?
Huh?
I
Me or
bet it's me.
Catherine?
I can't. It was you.
Yeah.
You
okay, thank
naughty
God.
girl.
It was. I can't remember.
I'm
right
single,
now,
so I have to be more
sorry.
careful because I have to be appealing to people. Do you know what I mean?
You do.
I want to be appealing to people too.
Why, just like in the
I know, but you have
workplace?
someone that you appeal to. No, not in the workplace. Like,
Oh, because you're trying to meet someone.
Well, don't you think if it seems like I'm always saying shocking sexual things that happen to me, that it might be like someone would be like, "Oh, let me steer clear of that person."
Yeah, or just like airing out just like the dirty laundry,
yeah.
right? Like,
But do I air out dirty laundry?
no, like maybe a teeny bit, but
Yeah.
I feel like in a good amount.
I'm always kidding. I've never meant anything I've said on this.
Same. I'm joking.
Are you serious? I didn't know that. That doesn't come through.
Okay,
kidding.
we're kidding. But we're.
That was a joke. That was a test.
But,
That was a
yeah,
joke
yeah.
too.
But sometimes I really say things that I think it's funny to say that I don't mean. That's the balance. I don't always know if I'm kidding or not.
I think that's okay.
That's
yeah.
the line we walk.
But no, I do love you guys, and
So sweet.
then so I started UCB here, and I did my
Who are your teachers?
101.
Who are your teachers?
I can't remember.
Okay.
I'm so
In LA.
sorry. Yeah, and I did my class show at the place by the Celebrity Scientology
Yes.
Center.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Franklin.
Yes.
And I was probably horrible. Improv is so scary.
I agree.
But I love
Do
to
you know what my
watch
mom
it.
said? I'm sure I've said this 1 million times on the podcast. What my mom said when I was going to do my first UCB 101 show.
What?
When I explained to her what it was, she didn't know what improv was. I explained it to her, and I was like, I was like at a family party on Long Island. I was like, I have to go in for my show. And my mom was like, what is it? And I explained what the show was, and she said, oh, that sounds like it could even be fun for the audience.
Oh yeah.
If it's good, yeah.
I was like, cool.
so funny.
Do you still do improv?
Once in a while, yeah. I think it's fun.
I
Have
would
you
love
seen
to
him do
come
improv?
see you. I would love.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
My
in
new
life.
thing is not being apologetic about sometimes enjoying improv.
That's how I first saw him
yeah.
perform. That's when I first fell in love with him. I watched him do improv, and I was like, "That's the funniest person I've ever seen."
And we've done
Yeah.
improv together at that show that the photo recently
the
surfaced from.
resurfaced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with improv either.
Yeah,
You would be great at it.
I feel like now I would be because I'm like less self-conscious.
Yeah.
But at
Yeah.
the time, I was like doing stand-up and
Yes.
sketch gave me the control to be like, I can be funny as
Well,
opposed to like.
yes, it's so interesting. I did this do you know anyone in the cast of the new Cruel Intentions? They're all around your age.
Yeah, I know one person.
Which one?
Kobe.
Loved him, and you know what he does? This. He's the first person I've ever met who does this.
Wait, what is
Nicorette-
that?
It's Nicorette spray that me and Kobe from Cruel Intentions do. But
How do you know him?
I moderated a panel for Vulture yesterday, and it's so funny because I used to do that a lot when I was younger, and I
cool.
remembered feeling like so nervous before I would do it when I was younger because it just feels like there's just so much pressure. Like this has to like
Yeah.
be a reason someone might give me something. Do you know what I mean? And it's so fun to do things and not have that. I think
Don't you love Lauren?
I love Lauren.
She's
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
That's
I
so
feel
fun.
like pressure on anything is like
it's wrong. and
horrible.
It's bad.
It's
So wait, so you met Kobe.
I met the whole talented young cast. They were
What
so
did seeing
sweet.
a talented young cast make you feel?
I was happy for them. They seemed so excited.
What's their show on? What's the
I'm
network?
a Prime Video, November 24th. Me being a full I'm now on the PR team.
Well, it's based on one of the best movies of all
21st.
time.
Yes, and I know
And
the
of
writer.
course, my boyfriend was in the musical.
Yes.
Oh, he was.
He was with Frankie Grande.
That's cool.
It was before we were dating. It's one of my biggest regrets that I didn't get to see him in it because I heard he was
Was
amazing.
that in LA?
It was in New York. Well,
was in New York.
It might have started in LA and then came to New York.
Okay.
But no one knows this. My boyfriend has the most amazing singing voice in the world.
Wow.
He's so
Wow.
good. It's crazy.
I want to get into your relationships, even though.
My
Yeah.
relationship.
But do you not want to talk about it? What's your dating history? What are you looking for? When are you looking for? I know you're not looking for anything now.
So the thing is that I feel
but
like
don't we
I'm-
all say that?
I'm not. No, I'm actually like not looking. I
Yeah,
feel
we
like
all
I've,
say that.
Me too.
I feel like I've never been looking.
Yeah,
Um,
on HBO.
I've never been looking. I've never seen that either. But
It's really
Me neither.
good. It's really good.
I remember people not liking it when it came out.
I loved it.
I have a dear
It
friend
was stacked with
for the
girls.
gay.
Stacked.
with. Oh, I see what you mean.
HBO Sunday nights. It was
Yeah. Oh,
girls.
yes.
It was looking. There's one other thing I can't remember.
Wow,
What
that's too many shows for one night.
it was electric.
Yeah.
Well, you don't
Okay,
have to
go
watch
ahead.
it all then.
My big night
Yeah,
right now
you
is
don't have to watch it all then.
my big night right now is
Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays. We got The Challenge, we got Survivor, we got Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
That's a
Imagine
lot.
me waking up on a Thursday and heading right straight to the computer to
So
watch it
lucky.
all.
At what
Like-
time?
Do I try to wait as it depends. Like whenever
Oh,
I
because
feel
it just airs and then you watch it asynchronously.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
great
Ooh,
word.
okay.
Someone went to school with Wesley.
Yeah.
So okay, so
So
Okay,
I'm
so-
just like not
yeah.
looking, and I just feel like whenever I'm in an environment that I have to keep coming back to, that's normally where I find people.
did you know? Yes. Did you know you were a queer child when you were a queer child?
I mean, yeah, I think I had to know. I didn't really
I
have
had
any.
to know.
I had.
I think I didn't have any self-awareness until Girl Meets World came out. So for 12, almost 13 years of my life, I was just like moving through the world, just like
Being so
fully,
Yeah.
so like
Well, for a couple of those
the
years, you were a
opposite
baby.
of self-conscious. Wait, what did you say?
For a couple of years, you were a baby.
And you
Well, I
couldn't
was a
move much at
baby.
all.
When I was a baby, I was just moving through the world completely unaware.
But you know what I mean. And then the show came out, and I was like, I saw myself, and then I saw everybody's reactions to myself.
Oh, a 13-year-old should never have to go through
and
that.
I
Where
was-
would you see reactions?
Well, just like social media.
Yeah.
Wait, why were you on social media? Like what? What?
It was Instagram.
Because that
it
was
was
the time.
Instagram.
It
They
was
were
out.
posting about you on Instagram when you were 13.
It was just comments on stuff, and none of it was
Oh.
necessarily mean.
I know, but
Yes.
it's too much.
The girls received so like an onslaught of viciousness. They never really cared about the guys on the show.
How did they survive?
I don't know. I really don't know.
God.
They're so strong.
That's like how
both
Sally
of them.
Rooney, you know that Sally Rooney said she would never, did I already say this fact on the
That she would
podcast?
what?
She would never let one of her books become a TV show again because she didn't like the effect it had on the actors.
Oh, that's
yeah,
the young
interesting.
actors, yeah.
But they're not that young. Her actors are adults.
I know.
Anyways, this is
Interesting.
Weird. This is difficult.
So yeah, it was just like it was really disorienting, and
Yeah.
how people saw me was not how I saw myself, and then I was just really it was
Oh.
tough.
I
It was
can't
And then
imagine.
it started bleeding into my work on the show, so I was starting to like water it back because like, well, I don't want to be the brunt of all these jokes. And there was this other kid on the show who was the romantic love interest, and I saw the way both of the girls were like their characters were
Yes.
always facing him, and that mirrored that on our set and in the world.
Yeah.
And I just felt so like
Oh,
Of
how
course.
sweet.
undesirable. And yeah, so that was tough. How do we get here?
Because
You're
I
talking
asked,
about like love and
I asked
how-
if you knew you were a
queer
queer child when you
child.
were a child.
So I didn't know during that point, but then I was doing a play. I was doing a reading of Dog Sees God in my friend's living room. We just like all got together to read it.
Oh my God.
And I was walking up to the house. It was like my best friend at the time,
a girl or boy?
a girl, and there was this kid there that I didn't know. He was
Okay.
like from a different school.
Of course.
And we like meet outside the door, and we're like going in together. And I don't remember what we said, but what I do remember is we were sitting across from each other during the whole reading, and it was the eye contact.
Oh, it was
and that was the
electric.
first time that prior to that, like you
Me as
know
a
it.
36-year-old. Yeah, I
You
as a
know
36-year-old
it.
man am making eye contact with people
The
regularly.
eye contact, I couldn't stop. I like I'd never
Oh
felt
my
anything
God,
like
that's
that
so
before.
fun.
And then I texted him after I found out that he wasn't going to be able to do our show because he was doing something at his school. So I was like, "Hey, man."
Hey,
Yeah.
dude.
I was like, "Hey, man, I heard you're
Bro.
not like you can't do the show, but like we would love to have you around
Yeah, we would love to
Oh.
have
if you have any
around.
time." And he ended up hanging around, and our first date was.
Oh, okay.
Oh, girl.
We texted. I saw Moonlight. I sent him the score. He was a composer. So
my
he
God.
like had all these really insightful things to say about the evolution of this kid's journey and how it's reflected in the violins and all this stuff. And I was like, this is crazy.
You're like,
so
I'm
we
in love.
went and saw the movie. I saw it again. And yeah, at that point, like I dated a little bit before that, but this was like we kissed on that date.
Wow.
And
sweet.
I couldn't believe it was happening on the first
Ooh, I
date.
can't believe
The best
it's
feeling in the world.
happening to
It was the best
me.
So did you guys
feeling in
fall
the
in
world.
love?
I don't know. I think at the time I was very smitten.
Yeah.
But looking back on
You're
everything
young.
that I've been in, nothing has been love on my end. And I think it's truly just a reflection of where I've always been. I don't know if just like that capacity is there right now.
But it will be when the time's right.
Hopefully. But yeah, anything that I've ever been in is it's like I've been kind of like routinely showing up to a place and then I see someone enough and then they're able to like convince me to be with them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got to stop that.
Yeah.
But what a nice place to be because you're so self-sufficient that you don't need anyone.
Yeah, kind of major.
Yeah, but I do feel like I'm worried I might be
Oh,
alone.
shit. Yeah.
What?
It's 11:30, which is my out. So we'll wrap it up.
It's 11:30. Oh my
So
god.
who do I wanna
Who do you
be?
want to be?
yeah. Yeah.
I want to be someone who has the room to love.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I really, yeah, that's really, yeah,
that's so beautiful.
yeah, honestly.
I'm sure you will be.
And yeah, I just want to like work on stuff that is really inspiring and with people who have
Yeah.
like a cool vision.
I feel like you're living the dream.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
this is a dream. This actually is a dream today.
Stop.
Stop. Do you guys have
Thank you.
crushes?
Say more.
Do you guys have crushes of the week?
Wait. So, okay, crush of the week. Let's think. Mine has got to be, my new jacket from Lease Says Ga. I love that store. I love that store and I love the amazing people who work there. Shout out.
Mine will be when Kelly Clarkson does all her covers.
Mm.
I saw.
they're so
Oh my god,
good.
this is what you'll love this. Because it came up you know when it comes up on your page when Kelly Clarkson does a cover.
Yes.
It came up my page when Kelly
It always
Clarkson.
comes up on my page, actually.
Country. Please with the country twist.
Oh.
And then it put me in the mood where I was like, you know, when you see one, you're like, I'm gonna have to watch like 9 Kelly Clarkson covers right now. That kind of happened to me, and I was like, we're so lucky that we have so many Kelly Clarkson.
We're so lucky to
covers.
have
know.
her.
Yeah.
National treasure.
Yeah.
My crush of the week is probably, this is crazy, but Crumble has a churro cookie.
Oh.
Crumble has a
churro
churro cookie.
cookie.
And I
And
just
so-
love churros.
My
and-
crush of the week is Crumble has a churro cookie.
Yeah. So that's what I would say.
That's delish.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all feel hot today?
No, because like I just can't figure out these jeans.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't because you're never going to believe this. I had so many salty snacks yesterday that my mouth hurt.
Oh my god.
You know, when you get to the place where you're like, I've been eating such junk food crap.
What kind of salty snacks?
I had a lot of chips with French onion dip, one of the best foods in the world. I had a lot of chips and salsa. I had like just complete garbage all day. I'm over it.
Over it.
Yeah.
And I don't feel happy because I need my voice back.
I don't even notice it being lost.
That's the thing. It's only I know.
Yeah.
Because anyways, you don't
Oh,
get it.
wow.
The
But
mark
it's
of a
dry.
professional, though.
Yeah.
Like you don't air it out. You just do what you need to do.
Thank you. But also, whenever it's so dry here that this happens a
is
lot in LA,
dry
it's like it
here.
dries me out, and I'm like, ugh. I need to go to a sauna.
It's so dry here. I don't feel hot, but
How?
I feel comfortable.
Oh, good.
Mm.
That's
Like I don't
nice.
feel hot, but I
look
like I don't
great.
feel
You look
bad in
great.
my skin.
Wait, so the
Which-
concert last night was a smash.
It was a smash.
Was there a fun after party?
There was kind of like in the hallway.
Okay.
There
Do you
is
like to party?
No.
Love.
No.
Perfect answer.
I don't.
Me neither.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
really can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Why do I like it?
I don't know. You like when it's a million conversations right in a row? You like that?
So it's that,
Yeah.
Do you like when there's a million conversations right in a
No.
row?
and maybe it's the drinking of it all.
I like drinking. No.
Mm-mm.
Do you not drink at all?
Not
Wow.
anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Rock and roll.
So yeah, I feel like the drinking was what like allowed me to exist in those environments,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
now without it, I'm like, oh yeah, this doesn't feel right. So
You
I
realize
just
that,
won't
oh,
be here.
You realize that, I don't want to have a million conversations right in a row.
Yeah, and that's okay. That is okay.
I don't always, but sometimes it can be quite fun.
Yeah.
Okay, what was I going to say? Are you guys mad at me?
Absolutely.
Are you mad
not.
at me that I have a heart out?
A little bit.
Oh,
Eh.
really?
A little bit because I just this
I know,
was fun.
we're just getting
This
started.
was fun.
I know.
But
I'm
now,
shocked
but
at how
we'll hang when
quickly
you're
the
back in
time
New
went.
York. We'll get
December?
a fabulous meal.
You gonna be in there in December?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys have a show.
Do we?
We have a show in
January.
January. Yeah, but
Oh.
but I will be there in December. I'm going back tomorrow.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
So I'll
and
come.
let me know.
yeah.
I'm gonna keep. Are you on Listings Project for your apartment search?
No, listings project.
I'll send you the info.
Oh, cool.
It's a good
Because
way to
now you're
find
looking for
places.
things.
Now I'm looking for a place.
What neighborhood would be your ideal? Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk. Are you mad at me?
No, are you mad at me?
No, I'm so excited you're gonna come to dinner.
I know, me too.
That'll be so fun.
Who's gonna be there? Him and his husband?
Usually, yeah, sometimes they invite like a few other people, but
Of course. Everyone has to bring one interesting person.
mine's you. What a huge guest. Okay, thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Thank you guys.
We love you.
Thank you.
And when a heart breaks,
It don't break even.
Don't break even.
yes.
Treatment. If you're boring as fuck, seek treatment. If you're unlucky in love, seek treatment. If you just can't take a hint, well, seek treatment. With Kat and Pat.
That was a Headgum podcast.